but it's suggestive, certainly, of the possibility of multiple treasure catches.
Have high hopes that the very next scoop every time is going to be something hugely meaningful.
For more than a decade, Rick Lagina has invested his time, money, and reputation in one of history's most persistent treasure mysteries, Oak Island. Now, the story has taken an unexpected turn. The breakthrough is not simply about what may lie beneath the island, but about the financial rewards surrounding the project itself. Rick and Marty Lagina are no longer just the men searching for answers. They are also producers, business owners, and central figures in a television phenomenon that has generated millions of dollars. But how did a childhood obsession become a multi-million-dollar enterprise? And how does that success connect to the mystery that started it all? To understand that, we have to look at the people behind the search, and the island that has kept treasure hunters digging for more than 2 centuries. The business behind the mystery. Long before Oak Island became a television sensation, Marty Lagina had already built a career around engineering, energy, and business. He earned a mechanical engineering degree from Michigan Technological University before studying law and becoming a member of the state bar. During his college years, he became friends with Craig Tester, a relationship that would eventually become both personal and professional. Marty later founded Terra Energy, an energy company he eventually sold for approximately $60 million. That transaction marked a major milestone in his career and helped establish the financial foundation behind his later ventures. Today, Marty serves as CEO of Heritage Sustainable Energy, while Craig Tester works as vice president. Estimates cited in the reference suggest that CEOs of companies in this sector can earn as much as $6 million annually. Marty has also entered the wine business through Maury Vineyards in Michigan, where customers can order wine directly. Yet despite his practical, science-oriented approach, Marty has never completely abandoned the dream that began in childhood. His willingness to investigate Oak Island alongside his brother Rick is part of what has kept the search alive, and the television series created another source of income. Rick and Marty Lagina are not simply the on-screen faces of The Curse of Oak Island. They are also executive producers. According to reports cited in the reference, the brothers can earn as much as $100,000 per episode. With roughly 25 episodes in a season, that could place their combined seasonal earnings at around $2.5 million. With more than 160 episodes aired, the scale of the business surrounding the series becomes significant. Their income is not limited to television. The brothers also appear at public speaking events, where fees reportedly begin at $5,000. Books and merchandise carrying their names are sold through the History Channel's website, while visitors interested in seeing Oak Island can book tours through Salty Dog Sea Tours. Marty's other investments and income sources have not been fully disclosed. Estimates in the reference place his overall net worth somewhere between $90 million and $100 million. But Marty is not the only person whose career has become intertwined with the island. Craig Tester has been connected to him since their university years, and their partnership began with Terra Energy. His technical background in mechanical engineering, land drilling, energy, and engineering has made him particularly valuable to the Oak Island investigation. When the team is deciding where to drill or how to interpret what lies below the surface, Craig's experience becomes especially relevant. His business interests extend beyond the show. Craig is described as vice president and manager of Heritage Sustainable Energy and as manager of Rock Management Group. He is also a partner in several ventures, including Terra Energy, Maury Vineyards, and Oak Island Tours. He and Marty have also appeared together on Beyond Oak Island, where they invested in other treasure hunting projects. The financial returns from those investments have not been publicly disclosed. Craig has appeared in more than 100 episodes of The Curse of Oak Island. Based on estimates cited in the reference, his net worth is believed to be somewhere around $80 million to $90 million. The exact amount that the Lagina brothers and their associates have personally invested in the Oak Island project remains unknown. What is clear is that the search has required substantial financial resources. Then there's the next generation. Alex Lagina, Marty's son and Rick's nephew, has become another familiar presence on the island. Like his father, Alex earned a mechanical engineering degree, this time from the University of Michigan. After graduating, he became involved in his father's wine and energy businesses and also entered real estate investment. But viewers know him for another reason. He is willing to work directly in the field rather than simply observe from the sidelines. Alex has appeared in 95 episodes of The Curse of Oak Island, 10 episodes of The Curse of Civil War Gold, and 1 episode of Beyond Oak Island, using an estimated average payment of around $100,000 per episode. The reference places his television earnings in the range of several crores of rupees. His estimated net worth is approximately $50 million. Craig Tester's stepson, Jack Begley, has followed a different but equally hands-on path. Based in Michigan, Jack is frequently seen assisting with digging and technical work alongside Craig. Away from the main operation, he also enjoys metal detecting with Gary Drayton. Jack has served as a producer on the series and has appeared in more than 100 episodes. His work extends beyond television through his own company, Remote Energy Solutions, and his certification as a drone pilot. The reference estimates that professional drone pilots can earn close to $1 million a year and says Jack's company reportedly generates 7-figure annual revenue. Those business activities, combined with his television work, are cited as the basis for an estimated net worth of around $10 million. Then comes one of the show's most recognizable treasure hunters. Gary Drayton, originally from England, developed his metal detecting skills independently before joining the Oak Island team. His specialty is finding buried coins, jewelry, and historical metal artifacts. Across The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Oak Island, Gary has appeared in more than 150 episodes. One of his most discussed discoveries is a lead cross believed to have possible connections to the Knights Templar. His work has also taken place away from television. Gary has written 2 books and made discoveries during his own metal detecting adventures, including an emerald ring, rare coins, and a Roman perfume bottle. The reference estimates Gary's net worth at approximately $15 million. And then there is Rick Lagina, the man whose personal fascination with Oak Island helped turn the mystery into a worldwide television story. Before the show, Rick worked for years as a mailman in Michigan. That career provided a stable income, but it was never the kind of profession that could easily finance a massive treasure hunting operation. Everything changed when Oak Island became part of his professional life. Today, estimates place Rick's net worth at roughly $20 million. But financial success only explains one side of the Oak Island story. It does not explain why people have been willing to spend generations and millions of dollars searching one small island. For that, we have to go back to the beginning. Why Oak Island still captivates the world. Oak Island has been surrounded by stories of hidden treasure for more than 200 years. The island itself is relatively small, measuring about 1 mile in length and less than half a mile across. Its name is associated with the red oak trees that once covered much of the landscape, although blight in the 1800s destroyed most of them. Today, spruce trees and shrubs dominate the island. In the 1700s, the land was divided into 4-acre plots. Not long afterward, stories of something valuable hidden underground began to spread. One early discovery intensified the mystery. At a depth of roughly 90 feet, excavators reportedly encountered a stone bearing strange markings. A translator interpreted the message as saying that 2 million were buried 10 feet below. Whether that interpretation was correct or not, the story helped transform Oak Island from an obscure location into a legendary treasure site. The folklore only grew darker. Stories spoke of ghostly figures and unexplained lights. Most famously, a curse supposedly warned that the treasure would not be found until 7 people had died while searching for it. According to the reference, 6 people have died during the long history of the search. That legend became another part of the island's identity. Over the decades, numerous companies attempted to excavate the site. In 1909, the Old Gold Salvage and Wrecking Company began another effort, attracting the attention of a young American politician who had not yet become president. His name was Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt invested in the company and personally visited Oak Island. Years later, the mystery would attract two brothers from Michigan. Rick and Marty Lagina took on the challenge of investigating the island, and their efforts eventually became the foundation of the Curse of Oak Island. The series follows the brothers and their team as they search for physical evidence that could explain what, if anything, was placed beneath the island. So far, no major treasure has been recovered. But the island has produced a collection of intriguing objects. Among them are a Spanish copper coin from the 1600s, a medieval-style metal cross dated between 1200 and 1600, a garnet brooch estimated to be nearly 500 years old, and a piece of cloth resembling part of an old manuscript. Other finds include a fragment of sheepskin parchment, an iron latch, a carved stone tablet, old ox shoes, and assorted metal fragments. There has even been speculation about a possible Roman shipwreck near the island, although that possibility has never been officially confirmed. For skeptics, these discoveries do not prove that a legendary treasure is buried beneath Oak Island. Some believe the treasure never existed at all, while others think it may have been removed centuries ago. Yet the debate has done little to diminish the island's appeal. And Oak Island is far from the only place where legends of hidden riches continue to draw attention. Other islands, other treasures across the world, isolated islands have become the setting for stories of buried gold, pirate fortunes, and lost artifacts. One example lies in the Baltic Sea near Germany. Argen is a well-known German island, but nearby is the much smaller island of Rügen, which folklore connects to the legendary pirate Klaus Stradebäcker. Historical records state that Stradebäcker was executed in Hamburg in 1401. Legend, however, tells a different story about what happened afterward. According to the tale, his spirit continued to haunt the city. To bring him peace, his remains were supposedly transported to the deserted island. Some stories claim he was buried in a golden coffin secured with a golden chain. Local folklore even suggests that the chain can sometimes be seen shining beneath the water. There is no proof that this mysterious grave exists. Another old belief claims that every generation has one person, usually a local fisherman, who knows exactly where the tomb is located. Yet the identity of that person has never been revealed. The story survives because the answer remains hidden. A similar legend surrounds Gardiner's Island, a small island off the eastern end of New York. The island takes its name from the Gardiner family, who received the land from the British in the 1600s. But its treasure legend centers on the pirate Captain William Kidd. In 1699, while traveling toward Boston to defend himself against piracy charges, Kidd stopped at Gardiner's Island. According to the legend, he buried treasure in a ditch after receiving permission from the island's owner, Mrs. Gardiner. In exchange, she reportedly received a piece of gold-embroidered cloth, along with a warning that if the treasure was never recovered, either Kidd or his son would die. The treasure was said to include gold dust, silver bars, Spanish coins, gems, and other valuables. One diamond was reportedly given by Mr. Gardiner to his daughter. A plaque still marks the location, although the site is private property and closed to the public. Kidd's own history adds another layer to the legend. He began as a legal privateer working for the British East India Company. When the venture failed to produce the expected profits, his career turned toward piracy. He later seized a British ship, increasing the trouble surrounding him. After returning to New York, he was arrested and eventually sent to England, where he was executed. The treasure was officially recovered, but some continue to believe that the full fortune was never found. Then there is Cocos Island. The name can be confusing because there are two islands known by that name. One is in Costa Rica, near the region between Costa Rica and Panama. The other is in Panama. The Costa Rican island is linked to the legend of a stolen fortune known as the Treasure of the Church. In 1820, a valuable shipment was being transported from Lima, Peru toward Mexico. The voyage was placed under the command of Captain William Thompson aboard the Mary Dear. According to the story, the sight of so much gold and diamonds caused Thompson to turn against those traveling with him. He allegedly killed them and escaped with his trusted crew, taking the treasure to Cocos Island. The story says Thompson eventually died in Canada in 1844. Before his death, he reportedly revealed the location of the treasure to a man named Mr. Keating. After that, hundreds of treasure hunters searched the Costa Rican island. One of the best known was German treasure hunter August Gissler, who lived on the island between 1889 and 1908. His efforts produced no discovery of the legendary fortune. But another Cocos Island later entered the story. During the 1990s, Vladdy Private Islands was reportedly considering selling Cocos Island in Panama. A local historian warned that the property could be worth far more than a few $100,000 if the treasure legend were true. According to the claim, the hidden fortune could be worth at least $60 million. The company then sought assistance from treasure expert William S. Kruker, who had also researched Oak Island. Kruker traveled to Panama, examined the island, and studied its maps. His conclusion was that the Panamanian island could potentially be the actual location of the legendary treasure. But there has been no substantial excavation on the Panamanian island to settle the question. So the legend remains divided between two possibilities. The treasure may be associated with the island in Costa Rica, or it could still lie beneath the quiet landscape of the island in Panama. And that brings us to a larger question. Why do treasure islands occupy such a powerful place in popular imagination? Where the treasure island myth took shape, when people picture a treasure island, the image is almost automatic. An old map, a red X, pirates, parrots, and chests filled with gold. Much of that imagery can be traced to one famous novel, Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island, published in 1883. Helped define the modern fantasy of the hidden treasure island. The story began with a map Stevenson created for his stepson during a holiday in the Scottish Highlands. The drawing showed an island surrounded by a bay, along with forests, ruins, and a smaller island called Skeleton Island. That map eventually became the foundation for the novel. Stevenson also drew inspiration from earlier writers, including Daniel Defoe, Edgar Allan Poe, and Washington Irving. But there is an unusual detail in the story of the map itself. The original version was lost before the book was printed. The map readers know today was recreated by Stevenson using the details contained in his own story. Treasure Island became the first major success of his career. Earlier travel books had not achieved the same impact, but the novel transformed him into a household name. More importantly, it helped shape the way generations of people imagined adventure, pirates, and buried treasure. The influence of that mythology can be seen in another Scottish island. Off the western coast of Scotland, not far from Glasgow, Ailsa Craig rises dramatically from the sea. The island reaches nearly 1,110 feet above the water, appearing from a distance like a massive column of rock emerging directly from the ocean. Its isolated position and difficult terrain have helped surround it with legends. According to old stories, treasure was once hidden somewhere on the island. But reaching the island is no simple task. Its steep slopes, rugged cliffs, and powerful waves have made exploration difficult. If a treasure really is hidden there, the landscape may have helped protect it for generations. No treasure has been found. Today, however, Ailsa Craig itself is considered so valuable that the worth of the island would far exceed the value of any ordinary chest of gold. It is also home to a historic lighthouse and several old stone structures. The lighthouse was built in the 19th century by Thomas and David Stevenson. Thomas Stevenson was also the father of Robert Louis Stevenson, the author whose Treasure Island helped inspire the world's enduring image of treasure islands in the first place. And so the story comes full circle. Oak Island remains without a confirmed legendary treasure. Rudin's golden grave remains unproven. Gardiner's Island still carries the memory of Captain Kidd's fortune. The Cocos Island mystery remains divided between two possible locations, and Ailsa Craig continues to stand above the sea, surrounded by stories of riches that no one has recovered. The evidence is different in every case. Some discoveries are physical, Others exist only in historical accounts or folklore. Some theories remain possible, while others have never been demonstrated. But the fascination persists because the central question never completely disappears: what if something really is still hidden? On Oak Island, that question continues to drive the search, and it is the reason the mystery remains alive after more than 2 centuries.